What's good, family? It's your man the YB back once again. So, as you've seen by the title, your man the YB has got his paws on some leaked training footage from Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Johnson. And there's been a few let slips here, that's what you best believe. A few little secret, super duper secret details have been revealed. Most importantly, most alarmingly, for Anthony Johnson fans. Here we go then, off the rip. And by the way, ain't no one peeped this one. This one's an exclusive one. Yeah, a jaw-dropping one. Off the rip. 2-2s. What do we know? Oleksandr Usyk apparently has been on the blower to Dillian Whyte. Now, bear in mind, people, we all saw the mighty success Dillian Whyte had over Tyson Fury. What did Dillian Whyte do to have such great success? What did Dillian Whyte do to have such overarching success against Tyson Fury? He came out southpaw. Where does that fit in today with Oleksandr Usyk? 2-2s. Peep the technique at the start of the video and you'll see Usyk doing what? Usyk here is leading with his left leg, aka orthodox. Now, Usyk's whole shtick, his whole career, has been a southpaw fighter. Although to be fair, I do remember him, I'm sure I remember him, maybe switching up a bit against Derek Chisora. Allegedly a few times, and he has been known to do that. I think even with Tony Bellend, he basically goes in there. He's not a pure switch hitter. Some guys are purely switch hitting. Usyk clearly has a southpaw bias, but he can obviously mix it up. The point is, people, for this open workout, he spent the whole time in orthodox. Now, it's quite interesting. I've got a video coming soon. AJ made a comment saying the only reason Usyk beat me was because he was a southpaw. If he'd have been orthodox, I'd have knocked his block off. So, where does that fit? Well, AJ's just spent the last 9 months having this laser focus on a southpaw. Now, Usyk and the Ukrainian Dons, they are known for mind games. I think potentially he's doing this. He knows people like the YB. He knows there's cats on the internet, 180 IQ and above, who are going to see this kind of thing and pick up. You best believe AJ's team ain't peeped this even a bit. Yeah, AJ's team 6 months from now will probably just start working it out. Oh look, yeah, he did turn orthodox in the pre-fight workout. But listen, if Usyk, this clearly for me is mind games. I don't think it holds any weight. Why? Well, if you were really planning on going in there and going orthodox, you'd save it. You'd save the big joker card. You wouldn't blow your load in the press conference. All this is doing here is Usyk is trying to get AJ to sow seeds of doubt. They want AJ and his team panicking, thinking, damn, we better start doing some sessions against an orthodox fighter. And that's why really I can't lie to you. And I guess that most people, 90%, 95% of fighters are one-dimensional. Never mind switch hitters. So that's why camps, for the most part, are quite static. You bring in people for the exact needs. But I've always felt that, yes, you want to do some specific work, but it can't hurt in every camp to just bring in different bodies. If you get what I'm saying. That way you account for anomalies potentially like this one could turn out to be. Now in all fairness, AJ spent his whole career smoking orthodox fighters, so it's not like it's not like it's the other way. It's one thing if you're preparing for an orthodox fighter and he comes out southpaw. That's a shock. Southpaw to orthodox, that's your bread and butter. Either way, my opinion is Usyk's doing this to try and play mind games with AJ. He knows AJ's mentally a bit edgy at the moment, and he's trying to take AJ off his game. Now the larger question is, why? Yeah, if Usyk knows, if Usyk feels on top of his game, if Usyk isn't nervous, why does he need to play weird games for? Bear in mind, he wasn't playing weird games for the first fight. This isn't Tyson Fury, for example, who we know loves to play games. Usyk, for the most part, is quite square, is quite straight up and down. So why would a man who's known to be straight up and down start trying to do these weird mind games? Is he nervous? Well, the thing is, people, there is I've made a concept up. It's called the champion's curse. Every time you look at history, people like John Jones, even people like AJ, yeah, before they're champions, they are the most explosive and carefree and relaxed fighters. And then they win the belts. GSP, loads of examples. Tyron Woodley, on the way up to get the belts, they're knocking everyone out and really emphatic performances. And then they get the belts, and within a year of winning the belts, they can't get a stoppage for love nor money. Do you understand? I tell you that to say, is the champion's curse starting to wear on at Usyk? Do you understand? Going into the first fight, he had nothing to lose. He was what we call loosey-goosey. He was 3-1 underdog. He was expected to lose. Anything extra is a bonus. Now, he's got not only the fact that he's a champion and the fact that he's got a big buff 6'6" bulbous Donny trying to chase him down. He's also got the pressure of his whole nation. He knows how much the nation of Ukraine needs a perceived W right now. Do you understand? Imagine that though. Imagine you're basically carrying, and listen, people like McGregor, McTapper, they're fakers. McTapper's never carried Ireland on his shoulders. But genuinely speaking, Usyk is literally carrying Ukraine on his shoulders right now, as a fact. That is a lot of pressure, a lot. So is it the case that Usyk is just feeling the pressure and trying to add some extra fruity bits on top to try and gain some extra edge? Now, in all fairness, the Ukrainian cats, Vladimir was renowned for playing games, doing little things like this. Any advantage Vladimir Klitschko could get, he would take. If he can put foam under the ring to make it slower, that's what he'll do. Yeah? So, it's not a big surprise. It's not an indictment. It doesn't guarantee it's the case that Usyk's feeling nervous. But it's an interesting element. Now, if Usyk comes out orthodox from the rip, then we know that it wasn't mind games, and for whatever reason he's decided to box AJ orthodox, to box AJ's ears off in orthodox position. Anywho, moving on to AJ's analysis. In fact, the last thing on Usyk I'll say is, open workouts are what they are. People are saying though that Usyk is bulking and is coming for the KO. Apparently the reason they didn't want to put Usyk's gloves on is because he's coming for power. Yeah, and they ain't want to let nothing slip. Apparently Usyk coming in there, rocking, rolling. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing certain cats from Usyk's camp have told me he coming in there 1985 Mike Tyson style. He gonna be in there rocking, rolling, just weaving and just apparently trying to work AJ all over. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing Usyk is literally fixing to knock AJ out within 6. That's what I'm hearing. I keep hearing it as well. And it's quite interesting. I did a video the other day and Usyk here was literally doing Mike Tyson slip drills. Super sharp, super short, weaving. I've never seen anything like it in that sense. Obviously Mike Tyson did it better, but I'm saying I haven't seen a heavyweight doing that since 1985. Really short, sharp weaving. I've never even seen Usyk do that before. So maybe the rumours that Usyk coming in 1985 Mike Tyson style, maybe they have some weight. Now, on to AJ, on to Mr. John Stewart. Now, someone pointed out to me that YB, look, he moving forward, and listen, it's amazing. Who was it I was looking at? I was looking at some goober. Obviously, most people should know that there's a scene now called YouTube boxing. YouTube boxing is where YouTubers have started boxing. And the point is, what I've learned from that is that 90% of them look okay on the pads. Yeah? I don't know what it is about pads. Well, obviously, pads are a static target that don't fight back. And I've learned that most people can look half decent on the pads. So AJ doing this, doing that on the pads, yeah, nothing's coming back. We know AJ can light pads up. We know he's extremely explosive. What we don't know is, can he be extremely explosive when things are coming back at him? Is he shot worn? Is he scary of getting stuck in? And yeah, again, do AJ's shots look peachy? They do, but we've been knowing that. AJ having peachy uppercuts, AJ having peachy hooks has never been the issue here. AJ letting them go. AJ's had this kind of Adrian Broner-itis for a long time. Yeah? Adrian Broner-itis is the disease where you just can't let your hands go. I'm not being funny here, but the way Broner lost to Maidana was very similar to how AJ lost to Ruiz. It was that Moshe style. Yeah? Maidana and Ruiz came in Moshe, and Adrian Broner got his jaw Moshe, and AJ got his wig Moshe. And both of them really never been the same since. AJ turned into a ballerina, and Adrian Broner, he broken. Yeah, Adrian Broner hasn't thrown a combination since 2013, when his dinner got pushed in by Maidana. But listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that AJ can get in there and abuse Usyk's body. Tyson Fury's pointed it out now for everyone. Usyk's body is weak. And to be fair, AJ is, one thing I did notice about all this training was that AJ was spending a lot of time throwing uppercuts to the body. There's a few clips here. Most of the orientation of the pads was towards the body. Look. Let's have a look here. Body. Head, I guess. Chest. Head. Well, in before AJ headhunting again. Listen, I saw a bit a minute ago that was doing more body. Oh, listen, I'm telling you now. If AJ comes out headhunting, I'm done with the game. I'm done. I'm sick of hearing about new trainers. I'm telling you now. If AJ comes out headhunting, I'm done with the game. Because guess what? I've watched the fight back. AJ didn't really have no success to the Barnet. All of his success was to the body. Honestly, I want to see AJ putting half of his shots out to the body in the first round off the rip. The body is so much, even if it's the thing, even if you're not hitting someone clean, throwing shots to the body is so much more rewarding because it's lower risk. In as much as, especially when you're the taller man as well, it's so much easier to hit the body of someone like Usyk, who is trying to move his head all the time. You can move the head a lot easier than you can move the body. And AJ having the size difference, there's no reason he shouldn't be able to touch the body all night and then come up for the head. I'm just hoping that, AJ's guard, we won't know until we see it, bottom line, people. I did a video the other day and I wasn't sure, but I'm just hoping that he's tightened everything up. And if I'm wrong, or if AJ comes in, and is looking super sharp, I will salute his training team. I'm not a hating ass dude. I honestly hope for the best. I'd love nothing more than AJ to go in there and mollywop this guy. I'm just not getting them signals. Hope I'm wrong though. Love to be wrong. This zesty cat Fernando, apparently he got you can see the little bit of D AJ doing here. Again, we can all have okay D doing pads. The key thing for me will be, if Usyk does come out to Moshe, I'll be able to look in the eye of AJ, and that's my plan for the gambling. Yeah, I'm going to look carefully in the first round and then do some in-play bets, because I think it's going to be evident from the first round what's what. Certainly the first 2 rounds. I think by the first 2 rounds I'll know who's going to win the fight. It should be clear by then. Because for example, if AJ comes out, yeah, and it's been 2 rounds and they're still fannying about, Usyk gonna win. Now if AJ comes out in the first round and you see he's holding in the centre of the ring and he hasn't taken a back step yet, even if I'm not saying necessarily he's gone in there and he's throwing 30 punch combinations, I'm just saying, if AJ starts to look like the old AJ, dominating the centre of the ring, closing the ring off, applying pressure with the jab, refusing to go backwards, that's where the structure, that's where the winning formula is based on. The minute you start trying to box with someone and, oh, I go back and you go forward, and that's how you end up losing. AJ's got no business conceding anything in this fight. If you get hit with a shot, you hit him back with it twice as hard. That really is a key principle. I think it's Errol Spence who does that well. Anytime someone hits Errol Spence, he hitting your back. Maybe Crawford as well, but either way, the top level guys, anytime they get hit, yeah, they teach their opponents, anytime you hit me, you're going to get 2 back. Twice as bad. And what that does is, psychologically, it breaks people down. And they start, I mean, look at Ugas. Ugas, yeah, went in there. And every shot he threw, Errol Spence threw 2 back. And eventually, what you saw was Ugas just standing there like a heavy bag. That's how you shut someone down. Because they think, damn, I don't want to throw anything, because I'm just going to get 2 straight back. That's what AJ need to do. Yeah, you've got all the advantages. You've got no business not to be responding. Anyway, 2 days, 3 days left, no doubt.